Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Chicquette. I'm Paula. I'm 40 years old and I have hooded eyes. So if you're like me and want to know how to lift and elongate your eyes, this makeup video is for you. I'm going to use only two products. And unlike the videos that are out there, let me tell you what does not work and why. Crayons and eyeliner pencils don't work for mature skin. Why? Because our skin is not as firm and it does stretch out. So if you have a sharp pencil or if you have a sharp tip with a gel eyeliner, none of those work for us. It sort of creates the space in between. And so what I found to be very successful is powder. Specifically, any type of eyeshadow. And one of my favorites, and I have to say all-time favorite in terms of consistency and saturation and texture is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This particular one is the warm shade. And though I know that we talked about cool shade, warm shade, I have a video for you if you want to check it out. The reason why I chose this palette is because it's mostly matte and also because these browns go very well with enhancing my blue eyes. So you want to be mindful of that as well. Depending on your eye color, you want to match that. I want to say the core message from this video is to understand that shadows are your friend and you can create amazing effects if you put it in the right place. I'm not a makeup artist. I am just, a daily makeup user just like you. And I want things that work really fast. So how do we do the hooded eyes effect to make your eyes look bigger? Why do we want it to look bigger? Because we want to look fresh and you've rested and uplifted and younger even. Why not? So it makes a huge difference. So you're going to use three colors. The first one is a lighter neutral shade that will go all over your lid. The purpose of this one is to cover the veins. Really, for me, it's the veins. And you want to cover imperfections and to brighten up the look. Creating the three different shades effect is what will create that 3D dimensional look that will add depth to your eyes and your eye socket and make it look bigger and brighter. So the eyelid is going to be a lighter color. Then next, we're going to use a medium color for the actual inner socket. And then the third color is a darker shade that goes right on top. And how do you do this? It's very easy. You're going to look straight into the mirror. You're going to take your brush, put it straight up above your eyelashes, and where it hits the eyebrow, that's where you're going to start a soft, soft line. And it's very easy. You just use small streaks with a brush, and then you slowly come down and blend it in with a medium shade inside your socket. Now it's going to look a little bit more dramatic if you compare it with the corner between this new line and your eyebrow, and that's okay. This is where you're going to have a nice clean blending brush and just soften that line so that it doesn't look like a sharp ending to it, and it just softens very, very nicely. You have now created a second crease that will make your eyes look so much bigger. How do we do the cat eye look that is perfect for your eye shape? A couple of key details that I want to point out. What you're trying to create is the shadow of your eyelashes. So imagine first and foremost, if you would have fake eyelashes, they would come up and the sun would be shining on it, it would create a shadow effect on your eyelid. That's what we're trying to replicate. And outward, what you want to create is the effect of extended eyelashes. And if now you see my final version, my lashes have been curved upwards, have mascara on, and now you see this nice continuation. It's almost like my eyelashes are going upward. So this entire cat eye is lifting the corners and making my eyes look brighter. One important detail I want to add about the shadows is that colors matter. I recommend starting with a medium brown. Think about it as a pencil. You first want to draw out with a pencil, and then when you're ready, you're going to put the permanent ink on it, right? So in our case, don't go with the darkest color that you want your final look to have. So don't go with black, don't go with dark brown. Instead, pick a medium shade, and this will help you trace out the shape that you want. Another important detail to pay attention to is the amount of product that you have on your brush. When you first dip it in, you have a lot of product. You don't want that to be your extreme ending of the line. So you want to place that product in the thickest part of your line. And this is what we're going to use to start tracing that flick. You're going to look at the corner of your eyebrow, and you're going to pick that as a reference point for a diagonal line. It's very important to just put the first mark of the line on top of the crease. Think of this as almost the end of your eyeline, maybe a little bit lower, just a little bit. Why? Because then at the end, we're going to soften the line upward. So how do I achieve this effect? You want to pay attention to the middle of the eye. You start slightly at about a little bit over halfway through your eyelid. This is where you want your final brush stroke to end. This is not where you're going to start. We're going to start much lower. A second detail you want to pay attention to is, I think, the biggest mistake that we make when drawing that line is that we go too far down. When you go too far down, this automatically drags the entire eye down and makes you look tired. So instead, what we want to do is stop at about a third to a quarter from the ending, from the corner of your eye. So look up, and that's where you start your tiny little line. So grab your brush, dip it in a medium brown, and start right there drawing out a little bit of line. This is just to give you a sense of where you want that line to stop. Now, if you close your eyes, you're going to see gaps between the line, and this is when you go and fill it in. So you can grab a little bit more powder, close that one eye, and in an upward slow movement, you're going to fill in the little gaps. With the rest of the brush, remember, I haven't dipped it in yet, and this is important because now you want to soften the line towards the middle of your eye. And you don't want to go over the middle section. If you reach the middle point, you've gone too far. So you start slightly outward, and then that distance between your initial starting point and the middle is going to be very, very soft at the base of your eyelashes. So feel free to just lift a little bit your lid, and then make sure you go in really, really close, tight lining against your eyelashes. And I think this is a great day makeup look. It's an enhancing natural look that you can add mascara and you're done. If you want to enhance it further, you can dip your brush in a darker shade, and I recommend brown hair. If you have gray hair and you're turning white or have light colored hair, I completely switch to browns. You go in a darker shade, and now you will tight line the base of your eyeline. You're just enhancing the same line that you've already built with the prior medium brown. And you're only going to go at the base of your eyelashes and slightly, just very, very slightly, a little bit of the line in the outward corner. You don't want to go over that initial line. Definitely don't go that high anymore, because that might ruin it and it looks too obvious and almost a little bit like a cartoon look. So you don't want to go for that. You want a natural enhanced look. The length of the flick is up to your own personal choice. There are days when I definitely felt like it's too high. Sometimes you want it to go lower. If you draw the line a little bit higher than what you thought, it's okay. Just grab a clean brush and gently just sort of soften it outward, and it will sort of erase it. It looks very natural and almost a faded look. You don't want a harsh line that perhaps a liquid eyeliner would provide. And this is it. I just applied primer and brown mascara, and it's all done. I hope this video was helpful to you, and now you know how to do your makeup for hooded eyes and also how to do an easy cat eye flick line. using only eyeshadow. Comment below and share if this method has worked for you. If you have any questions, I'm here to help. If you enjoyed this video, coming up next, I have more tips on how to dress if you have cool undertone and great hair. I'll see you there.